Hola, Bonjour, Guttentag, or however you say hello in your language, and I know what you're thinking. Well, okay, I don't actually know what you're thinking because that would be really weird, but if you're thinking about nether portals, then you've definitely come to the right video, because today I'm going to be showing you some tips and tricks that I have when I'm building nether portals, or the designs that I have for the area around the nether portal. And yeah, there's going to be a lot of interesting tips here. Before we start, I'd like to note that this is not going to be a block by block tutorial, but instead I'll be showing you some of the ideas and tricks that I have when I'm building these things. So let's go ahead and get right into it. So the first design we have right here is like a modern style, and I quite enjoy this style of building. It requires a lot of lighter colored blocks such as smooth quartz blocks and such. But here I have a simple trick. The reason why it looks like this and it is so clean is not because I used a special command, but I did a cute little trick. As you can see, there's not, well, you can't see the obsidian, and that is because I used a simple trick with a map and a map, and then under there is an item frame, and I simply put the map of this completely blank area onto the item frame, and it makes it so that you can't see the obsidian. Right over there is my area where I took this map. You basically just need to fill out a giant area of lighter colored blocks, or whatever color blocks you're using, and you can put it right on the portal. I will be showing you this trick later on in the video, but for now, let's go ahead and move on to the next part. So here we have a large tree stump. Now, I quite enjoy this style, and I might end up using it on our Magicraft series. And it basically requires you to make a giant stump, or you can go above and beyond and do a giant tree, where you have a hollowed out middle, and the nether portal is there. For this particular one, I decided not to do the full tree, and I instead went with some mushroom designs, which you can see here, using end rods and some mushroom blocks on top, or the nether brick slabs, and it creates like this nice mushroom texture. When you're designing the area around your portal, you want to consider the biome that you're building in and the style you want to build in. It wouldn't make sense if you put a really modern or ancient Greek style build into a more natural build unless that's what you were going for. So try to be mindful about what you're putting where and just the style in which you're building. In order to incorporate this into the surrounding landscape, I used some podzol and lots of bone meal in order to make it blend well together with the mushrooms and the natural wood logs and just the flat area of the super flat world. And for added effect, I decided to put vines creeping up the tree trunk to make it look like it's decaying in a way, and that's also indicative by the mushrooms that you see down there. So this next portal we have here is a corrupted portal. So I decided to use a lot of the crying obsidian in conjunction with obsidian and a lot of the blocks that you find in the warped forest biome in the nether as of 1.16. And I decided to make it kind of look like the area inside the nether is kind of creeping out and corrupting anything that happened to be there. Like, there could have been roses here, and they just turned into wither roses because of this corruption. And on a similar note, over here we have a nether waste kind of spilling out of the nether and into the surrounding area. It's kind of the same principle that you use over there. You want to use a lot of blocks and a lot of different textures in order to make it look as detailed as possible. Again, you want to be mindful of where you're building your portal and what kind of biomes that you want to portray or that they are in currently, because this really helps tie your build in together and makes it look less like the giant random portal that you see right over there. And on to our last design, but certainly not the least, is the more traditional way of building portals, in that you either have it behind a waterfall or in a cave type setting. Now, I decided to incorporate both of these so that I could easily explain this. But you basically just want to make sure that it blends really well, and you can use all of like the slab, stairs, etc. variations in order to make it look complete and like it's naturally supposed to be there. You want to put as much detail as you can into these to make them look as good as possible, but you want to stay within your color palette, and I have a video on that and I will link it here up in the corner. And let's go ahead and move on to the trick that you saw in our first kind of Greek, Roman, modern style build. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is make your portal. Now, I'm going to do a really simple example on how to do this, but you basically want to make the portal 1 block wider than you think it should be. So if I wanted it 3 blocks, I'm now going to make it 4 blocks wide. And build it just a tad bit wider than you normally would, and this is going to come into play later. I'm going to go ahead and light it, and then you basically just take your blocks and like this, like so. You cover all of the blocks that you don't want shown. So this is a really simple example, but I hope it gets the point across. So you basically want to just make sure that you have most of the portal covered, and yeah. So let's say we wanted a 2x2 portal like this. Then we basically just take, I'm actually going to break this real quick. We actually take this and we put the item frames all along it, like so. And then we take our map that we made over there and place it in each of these item frames, like so. Alright, so now that we're done with that, I'm going to go ahead and break one real quick so we can light our portal. And then I'm going to replace the item frame and map. And there you go. It looks really clean, and when you're inside of it, you don't even notice the obsidian. Now you can make this fit in such better ways than what you see right here, like what you saw over there. But this is just a really simple example, so you get the concept of what exactly I did to hide the obsidian of my portal. Because we can all agree that sometimes obsidian doesn't really look the best in all of our builds. And with that, I believe that is all of my tips and tricks for how to build better nether portals in Minecraft. If you enjoyed, be sure to leave your support. It's greatly appreciated. And we're going to have some fun stuff coming up. Like, Flubbikin and I are currently working on our short film, so you can expect that to be out soon. And it's going to be really funny. So, we'll be on the lookout for that. Anyway, we'll see you on the next video. Bye!